there's dirt on my hands.
Hello YouTube, Boss Rino. Welcome to my channel. So, ito na yung medyo paborito ko ngayon. Ang The Darkest Secret. So, ito, di ba meron akong playlist dito na most popular video. So, ito ang most popular video ng Darkest Secret. So, medyo luma na siya. So, 6 strangest events caught inside the churches. Inside churches. So, ito yung mga nangyari na kakaiba sa loob ng simbahan. Diba? Tinagalog mo lang, Boss Rino. So, ito, tirahin natin ito. Bago pa tayo iba, excited ako dito. Game!
In spite of many places it being forbidden to take cameras, inside churches to tape is very normal. Overall, when you visit a popular church of another country, the architecture of these places and the recognized vitals gets anyone's attention. And that's exactly what this man recorded on this video. Years passed until a user with a lot of time on YouTube noticed that this recording had captured more than just the architecture of this place. What I am about to show you is very subtle. The only way to see it is by applying a considerable amount of filters over it. In the moment that a man records the organ of the church, when something ethereal passes through, without filters, it's impossible to see. It's completely dismissed as a shadow or as a distortion in the pixels. What do you think it can be? Number 5.
Shit, yun o, parang may mukha, no? Ayan o, parang may mukha. Yun, napansin ko ha. Hindi ko alam kayo kung ano nakita nyo. Hindi nyo sinabi. Number 5 na.
If you have ever immersed yourself in a discussion with someone who believes in God, it's probable they've told you to speak to a priest or preacher, of whom the spiritual man close to God will open your eyes. For many believers, the priests are almost sacred people, and how can they not be if they dedicate their whole lives to their religion? But nevertheless, what you will see in this video, an unfortunate incident, lets you see that including the most sacred are simply men.
Kinakabahan ako kasi di ba sabi nila sa simbahan daw naiiwan yung mga espiritu kaya mas nakakatakot sa simbahan.
And on this occasion, men quite perverted. This video was captured in the middle of Mass by one of the parishioners seated in the front row. In it, you can see the priest preaching in Mass filled with witnesses, when suddenly, the movement in his hands leaves us to easily conclude that he was touching himself. There are those that say he was playing with his hands, that no one could be that perverted to do such a thing in Mass. Worse things have been known. Number 4.
Ano yun? Ang weird. Ang ginagawa mo, Padre.
Things have been known. Number 4.
Shit. Ano lang siguro na gaganyan. Number 4.
The film you will see in this next post is quite strange for different reasons, and the theory that can be made out makes sense. For some context, this is a VHS recording of a Mexican wedding. The person that was recording was focused on all the guests that seemed interesting, like this boy, but in a moment manages to tape something strange in the background. Seems like an object hovered in the last seat. When the cameraman gets closer, the child moves his head.
Mahirap i-edit yan. Luma yung video. Baka noong time na yan, wala pang masyadong edit na sa cellphone.
We can observe that it was about a person.
Oh my God.
The light effect, we can observe that it appears to be the emaciated face of a person covered by a veil. There are those that believe it's about a bride that had died tragically in a car accident after she was married, right after leaving this same church. There are other people that believe that it was a guest to the wedding that simply wore a white veil. The strangest thing is that the cameraman was focused on all the guests. He didn't intentionally focus on the strange woman with the veil. He noticed her after the take. Number 3.
Kinalabutan ako dito. Nakakatakot talaga pagka yung mga oldies, no? Old school.
No one knows the origin of this video, nor its location of the church where it was filmed. It's about a wedding like any other, one of the most important moments of people's lives, where one wants everything perfect.
Oh, shit.
However, what will happen here will have this wedding turn to a complete sense of darkness.
Oh, ang weird, ang weird, ang weird. Oh my God. Oh! Puta, hip-hop yung multo.
What just happened? Who was this person? Why did it look like half of its face was missing? And why weren't any of the guests surprised? Regretfully, the appearance of this mysterious person will be more than the beginning of bad luck for a lot of people at the ceremony. Number 2.
Hip-hop, sumasayaw pa eh.
Perhaps you already know the story of Jim Jones' cult, better known as the cult of the village. In a summarized form, this individual used religion to mix his radical ideas of socialism, a dangerous mix that served to attract hundreds of believers that felt completely astonished by his gift for the word. The people that followed him began a species of admiration that transformed into fanatism and much later devotion. This way, this man at the end of his days convinced, or more like obligated, 900 people to take their lives inside the walls of this religious cult. He then led a massive suicide, the biggest one in history. But we are not here to describe this event, if not rather to discuss footage that was recorded in one of his ceremonies where it's clearly seen that his believers are not the only ones visiting that place. Some strangers and terrifying
Ang bilis ng mata ko, nakita ko kagad yun eh.
Some strangers and terrifying, sparkling eyes appear in the scene. Many believe it's about the famous shadow men, or demons that fed off this true intention of this horrible preacher. Some people that were able to escape the massive suicide assure that they felt attracted by the cult in a form that they could not understand. Maybe these strange forms had something to do with it. Number 1.
Number 1 na tayo.
What lies in this post didn't happen in a church in reality, but in one of the main rooms of the Vatican. Here, the present Pope sits to give his most important conferences. It may be that what I will say in continuation might not have anything wrong, but if you are religious, the appearance of this has left all stunned of whom have seen it. It's about the resurrection throne, an enormous sculpture that is behind the chair of the Pope, where he gives his conferences. It represents Christ's resurrection emerging from the sea of chaos, but nevertheless, it's very sad and morbid. With the naked eye and without knowing its story, it appears as if the Pope is sitting at the doors of hell, but that is not all, since the true strange event of this sculpture comes next. If you reflect the image about halfway, the sculpture takes an incredible form, and if you cross a couple of obvious lines, you form this, what you clearly see like Satan's face. And if you take it to another extreme and turn it over, you can even see the star of 5 points, something far-fetched, but allows me to say that the coincidences are abysmal. But since this channel is not about conspiracies, nor dedicates to criticize the church, I will leave the conclusion up to you in the comments of the video. Hope you liked this video because this video has come to its end.
Ang weird nito. Ang weird nito. Sino gumawa nito? Ang weird nito, oh. Oh. 'Di ba? Ang weird. Ang weird yan, oh. Bakit kailangan ganyan yan? 'Di ba? Ang weird. Ang weird dong ano, bakit ganyan ang kailangan na sculpture, no? Para may mga bungo. Dapat di ganyan. Hi! So yun, maraming salamat sa panonood at ito ang most popular video ng The Secret, The Darkest Secret. So yun, maraming salamat sa panonood at hanggang sa muli.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my